So Tesla just went through a stock split, but the real question is, are they gonna have another stock split? In other words, stock split again? Already? Sheesh! Tesla's crazy, but they're not really crazy because Tesla, well, you know, Tesla is a value and a growth stock at the same time. I mean, if you look at the stock, if you look at the company, what they're doing, they're both a growth and a value stock. It's a two-in-one. And we both here know that Tesla is going to continue going rapidly, at least in this decade and probably the decade after that, if they continue to innovate and make great, fantastic products, which in the foreseeable future, that's what's gonna happen. And if that happens, well, the stock price is gonna keep going higher in the long term, meaning more stock splits are coming. That's inevitable. So knowing that, we're gonna predict how many more stock splits this decade Tesla's gonna be doing. And in order to do that, we gotta figure out what the stock prices will be, which, hey, that's right in my lane, because in this channel, that's all we do, at the moment at least. So let's get into the video, but before we do, you guys have may notice something. I'm wearing the Go All In t-shirt. As you guys can see, I am in my Toronto studio right now. I think in the next couple of weeks or so, I'll be back in Kuwait where the poster is there. Here I don't have the poster, so I made a t-shirt saying Go All In, and you guys can order it too now. That's right, we got merch now, and the good news is that we're not just limited to t-shirts. We got hoodies, crop tops, sweaters, because I know we're going to the fall right now, so maybe a sweater will be a better idea right now. Anywho, whatever you guys like, there's a link in the card in the corner and a link in the description. Let's make a Go All In team. And no, it doesn't have to be going all in into Tesla stock, because you guys already know I'm going all in into Tesla stock. It could be anything, or you just like the design, whatever. Anywho, let's get into the video. All you have to return is a like and subscribe if you haven't already, man. Let's go. Let's go. So as you guys can see here, this is the standard Tesla stock price prediction chart that I use all the time. It only includes vehicles and a little bit of FSD. That's all. We're gonna go ahead and find out what the stock price will be every single year based on this, and then predict when stock splits are potentially possible, because we do have some data on how Tesla likes to do their stock splits. After that, we're gonna go into another Tesla stock price prediction chart that has everything, you know, Tesla bot, robo-taxis, energy, insurance, all that good stuff. And I already made a video about it, link right here. The number at the end was just absolutely ridiculous, but in this video I did modify it to be a bit even more bearish, you know, just to be more conservative. You guys already know that I'm conservative on top of conservative. You guys will see what I mean. So in 2022, you guys already know minimum they can finish off this year is 1.4 million. Most likely they'll be close to 1.5 million this year. I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna crush it in Q3, Q4. As we saw Shanghai recently, 77,000 vehicles were delivered and produced in the month of August. I mean, that's crazy. I predicted maybe 60,000 because of all the closure and all that kind of stuff. But 77,000, that's like almost a record, and that's ridiculous. So we can expect Q3 and Q4 of 2022 is going to be crazy, and we can expect the 1.4 being more closer to the 1.5 or at least 1.4 and a half, but keeping things conservative, 1.4. In 2023, they're going to go 60% for 1.4, and that gives us over 2.2 million vehicles delivered. And then 2024 and 2025, 50% growth. We get over 5 million vehicles delivered in 2025. 2026, 2027, and 2028, all 40% growth year over year. We get about almost 14 million vehicles delivered in 2028. 2029, 30% growth, almost 18 million. And 2030, I capped it at 20 million because that's their goal. The FSD charge, we did a one-time payment because we have no idea what the subscription is, how many customers have it. We don't have that data. So I just went at a one-time purchase only. And in 2020, it was 8,000, 2021, 10,000. In 2022, they increased it to 15,000 from 12,000, but getting the average of that is about 12,500 because they are increasing at 15,000 in September and not in June. If it was in June, it'll be smack right in the middle as an average of 13,500, but because they're bringing it on the 9th month of the year, that'll bring it down to an average of 12,500. In 2023, 2,000 on top of that, and really 2,000 every single year until 2030, making it $29,000 if you want to buy the FSD in one go rather than a subscription. So sheesh! That's crazy. Every single year, I gave it a 15% conversion rate for FSD. Now, most likely, this number should be close to 33% because end of this year, we're gonna have 1 million FSD beta drivers on the road, and we have about almost 3 million, a bit over 3 million vehicles on the road from Tesla. So that brings the percentage up to 33%, but let's keep it conservative. Let's wait for solid numbers to come in first, then we can increase it to 33% or maybe even more, but 15% every single year up until 2030. We get 3 million vehicles with FSD. And note, these are not carried over to the next month, unlike subscription. Subscription that gets carried over to the next year, next month, because it's a subscription. It's not a one-time fee. FSD profit margin in 2022 is 48%, but then gradually increases 2% every single year until 2030. So that's absolutely insane. So that's what I did here. And it was based on a backed research as well. So I did that as well here, 2% every single year, except for the years of 2024 and 2025. Just want to slow down the growth because some of these numbers are a bit too big for me to understand, to really, take in. So, slow down the growth a little bit. But even with that, we get about almost $54 billion in net profit, which is just absolutely crazy. Look at the revenue, man, 87 billion, and the net income is 54 billion. That's just cash machine. And this number will just continue to rise. In 2031, it'll be 64%, then 66%, then 60%, and then until it's a software. You just sell the software and you make the bloody money. There's nothing else to do but to update it and maintain it. That's it. And that's high margins. So overall, to add it all up for total revenue in 2022, with the average sale of 57,000 vehicles, each vehicle is going to cost $57,000. With 1.4 million vehicles, with the FSD, we get almost $82.5 billion in revenue. In 2023, the average vehicle sales drops down to 55,000 because inflation will slowly back down and they can slowly ease off the high prices. But I'm not too sure if that will happen because the EV credit's coming, and that means Tesla's gonna be probably in the 60s, 62,000s. I mean, that's just crazy. But let's just keep this situation, and then the next situation, we can keep it pretty much maybe like elevated like 55,000 for the whole decade. And then we can predict that. But with 2023, with $55,000 vehicle sales, per vehicle, we get over $128 billion. Same thing in 2024, over $193 billion. 2025, I reduced it to 52,000 average sales per vehicle, and we get $276 billion. In 2026, I reduced it even further to $48,000 to almost $361 billion. In 2027, I reduced it even further to $45,000, and maybe the Model 2 or the $25,000, $30,000 vehicle is going to start coming into play, but not full mass production yet. And we get almost $479 billion. Absolutely crazy. In 2028, the affordable $25,000, $30,000 vehicle is being a bit more mass produced now, which brings down the total average vehicle to 40,000. We get over $605 billion. In 2029, mass produced, everybody wants the Model 2 or the affordable Tesla, which brings down the entire average to 35,000 vehicles. Because if you want to scale that high, man, you got to bring something extremely affordable that everyone have access to. 18 million vehicles per year is no joke, so it's got to be affordable. With that, we get over $602 billion. Same thing in 2030, $787 billion. It's absolutely madness. But the profit margins are more important than the revenue because, hey, we want to make money, right? So here we go. In 2022, I gave it a 15% margin with the FSD profit, and we get over $13.5 billion. So this year we can expect around this number, but because they may do 1.45, let's put this for example, we may see over 14 billion, perhaps even closer to 15 billion in net profit. So keeping it more of a conservative look, we're gonna say over 13.5. In 2023, I increased it to 18% net income percentage to revenue, including the FSD profit margin as well. We get over $25 billion. In 2024, at 20% net income from the total revenue, obviously including the FSD profit margin too, we get over $43 billion. In 2025, I increased it to 23%, and we get over $71 billion. And from 2026 all the way to 2030, I lifted at 25% because they're already at massive scale. So they're gonna benefit from lower cost and higher margins. Skip to 2030, we get over, God, look at this, over $250 billion in net profit. Absolutely madness. Sheesh. Shares outstanding, I gave it a 2% dilution rate every single year, as time and time again, I highly doubt they won't do 2% dilution if they're making so much cash. Most likely in 2024, 2025, a buyback will come into play, and maybe later on down the line, it'll be dividends too. So really, I don't think we're gonna reach 3.6 billion or 3.7 billion in shares outstanding. I doubt that. Are you guys ready to see what the stock price will be in the most conservative way ever? Well, smash that like button and let's find out. Let's go, man. So in 2022, I really think they're gonna finish off with 100 PE, but I'm gonna say 90 just to be conservative. And we get a stock price of $391 per share and a market cap over $1.2 trillion. In 2023, I put a PE of 75 and we get a stock price of 601 per share. In 2024, I gave it a PE of 65 and we get a Tesla stock price of $860 per share and a market cap of $2.8 trillion. Sheesh. In 2025, I gave it a PE of 55 and we get a Tesla stock price of $11.76 per share on the average, obviously, and a market cap almost heading $4 trillion. In 2026, I gave it a PE of 45 because, again, there's only FSD and vehicles only. If they were doing other things in this prediction, the PE will be much higher in 2026. Maybe around this time will be around 50. 55, 60, like what Amazon is right now. But anywho, we're just taking things at a very conservative approach. And with a PE of 45, we got $13.57 per share and a market cap over $4.6 trillion. In 2027, with a PE of 40, we get $16.05 with a market cap over $5.5 trillion. In 2028, 35 PE, which is just ridiculous. But anywho, almost $1,800 per share and over $6.3 trillion in valuation. In 2029, I gave it a PE of 30 because, listen, if they're gonna just focus on cars and FSC, which they're not, but in this situation they are, a PE of 30 makes more sense. And with that, in 2029, we get $18.28 per share and a market cap over $6.5 trillion. And in 2030, another PE of 30, and this will give us a stock price almost at 2050 and a market cap of $7.5 trillion. So that's absolutely crazy. And that's just a vehicle delivery and just the FSD, just a little bit of FSD. That's it, which is absolutely nuts. But when are they going to have the stock split? Haha, that is a very good question. So in order to predict when Tesla will do a stock split, we kind of have to look at their history a little bit. The first stock split they've ever done, the stock price was around $1,500 per share. The second stock split they've done, it was around $900 to $1,000 per share. And remember, Tesla is not doing these stock splits just to make sure the stocks go higher. They do it because they know the stock price is going to go higher and to make sure their employees can buy stocks at a cheaper price, at an easier price, not a cheaper price, at an easier price. Buying Tesla stock is a whole lot easier to get it now than it was 3 weeks ago, because to buy one share, you had to rank up almost $1,000 per share, 800, 900. Now you just gotta get $200-300. That's it. I mean, that's still a lot of money, but much easier than 800 to 900. So it seems like if we look at the trend of how Tesla's doing these stock splits, they're slowly coming down on their stock price level amount. And that's good news because we can expect more stock splits sooner than later. How soon? Well, let's check it out. So it seems like Tesla is trying their best to perform a stock split before it reaches the 4 digits, the $1,000 ranges. So we can figure that out easily here. We can see in 2021, 2022, 2023, then we see 2024 and 2025 where it gets in between 860 to 1176. So we can say or predict that sometime in between 2024 and 2025, they may do a stock split. But how much? That's the question. I'm gonna assume they're gonna do a stock split in 2024, end of 2024, or beginning of 2025 when the stock price is just about to hit $1,000 per share. Let's say the price of 860 in 2024. I assume at this time they're gonna do a stock split of 4-for-1. Because if we look at what Tesla is doing, they don't like to go below $100 per share. They want to keep it in the low hundreds, which is in the 150s to $200 per share. I don't know why they do that, but let's just go with it. So in 2024, with a stock price of 860 with a 4-for-1 stock split, we get a stock price of $215.08. So that means in 2025, the stock price will be $293, 2026, $239, 2027, $401, 2028, $450, 2029, $456, and 2030 over $500 per share if it's 4-for-1. Most likely, at this point, they'll probably do another stock split by 2030 if the stock price is over $500 per share. Maybe a 3-for-1, just like what Apple did recently, like 2 years ago. Stock price was at like 500, 600, I believe, and they did a 3-for-1 or a 4-for-1 stock split. So maybe Tesla might be in that same situation in 2030. But with this module, we can expect 2 stock splits, right? So in 2030, I think they could probably do another 3-for-1, which could bring the stock price to 170 if they do it at 500. Anything more than 3-for-1 at the 500, I really don't think they would do it. But hey, just a prediction. Nothing less and nothing more. So in the conservative case, we can say that at least 2 stock splits they could do. But now let's look at the everything. Let's see, like, I guess it's a bit more than conservative because we have Tesla insurance, bot, energy, and robotaxis. So let's go see how that will look like. So as you guys see, this chart is pretty darn monstrous. It's a lot of stuff. This was actually my previous video. So if you guys want a step by step, You guys can go ahead and check it out. As you guys can see, all the profits and revenue is there. It's all added up. The only thing that's different is the average car sales, which in 2022 was $57,000 per vehicle. 2023, 2024 was 55, and 2025 and onwards, keeping it at $50,000 average. So as you guys can see, the PE has already been given 100 PE in 2022, as I think would happen. We get a stock price of $438 per share by end of this year if the macro environment is, good, which I hope it would be. But most likely, if things are going the way they are, then the 90 PE in the conservative chart would be more realistic. But anywho, given all the stock price given here, let's predict and guess the next stock splits. You ready? Let's go. Smash that like button. So as we can see here, in 2022, 438, in 2023, 608, and in 2024, we got $941 per share. And I say that they're gonna do a stock split here, and I'm gonna say 5-for-1. Yeah, 5-for-1 stock split in 2024 with a stock price of $941, and we get a stock price after 5-for-1, $188 per share. So that's nice. That's crazy. That's nice. That means in 2025, we get a stock price of $268, then $402, then $544, and then in 2028, $720. And I said they're gonna do another 5-for-1 here, bringing down the stock price to $144, and so on and so forth. So again, looking at the conservative case where we look at the vehicles only and a little bit of FSD, to this case where we have the bot, the robo-taxi, insurance, Tesla energy, and again, those numbers, those profits and sales was really conservative too. But even with all that, we still get at least 2 stock splits in this decade, which is just absolutely crazy and should tell you guys how fast Tesla is gonna be growing. Like, sheesh, man, come on. But let me know, guys, comment down below. Do you guys agree with this? Do you think they'll do at least 2 stock splits? Maybe 1 stock split, maybe 3 stock splits? It all depends on how they do it. Comment down below what you think, because I'm pretty darn curious. As you guys can see, this is the reason why I'm going all in into Tesla stock, man. Come on. So there you guys have it. A stock split for Tesla in this decade is inevitable. It's going to happen. And here in this video, we just predicted when. All I hope is that I'm right. We'll come back to this video in a couple of years to see if I'm right or wrong. But I do have to ask you guys this question. Are you guys ready for Q3 delivery numbers coming up like next month? Like, sheesh, we're so close. It's gonna be monstrous, man. Check out this video. It's my prediction. I was already wrong for August. So you guys could imagine how big the number is gonna be in Q3, man. So check it out. Don't forget to subscribe, man. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.